Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen updates. There was a lot more discussion about the future potential plans for cargo on Spectrum from CIG's Maiden, which I'm going to go over now in a quick overview, but also please check out my previous video on the subject from yesterday, as there was a bit more about cargo there talked about too, and this is kind of a continuation, I suppose. But there's also going to be a bit on 3.0's combat survey here as well, piracy, and a little bit on hotfixes too. In regards to the automated versus manual cargo loading, unloading kind of features that they've got planned for the future, they are still discussing and planning it. The more features they add to the loading process, the more they have to consider the landing pads, how those ships dock, and where the loading and unloading process occurs. If they require a cargo delivery / collection point, the player needs to physically take the cargo to and from, then that needs to be present on every cargo-capable landing pad, from Port Olisar to a tiny science outpost. If they just spawn the cargo next to the ship and then say, there you go, now load that, they may as well just auto-load the ship outright. If they have the cargo spawn some distance from the ship, so it feels like you're taking it from the supplier and delivering it to the cargo hold, and it feels more like you're loading up a ship, but the travel distance is greatly increased, and so is the load time, this could potentially make a fun little task into a huge chore with little to no gameplay appeal. Casting the right tone of, is this still fun, against does this complement the feature, will be a constant balancing act, and something that they constantly come back to when making these features. Players have said they literally don't have time to dedicate to loading their ship themselves, and would pay in-game money to let someone or something else do the ship loading for them. This leads to another, less exciting issue of production. What is the real demand for the feature? What happens if only a small group of hardcore players, and only ones who actually want to load cargo manually more than once or twice, and the rest want to unload quickly, make their money, and then get back onto the road, play the game where the adventure is? The art, code, and design work that goes into a feature like that will be many man-months of work, regardless of the final direction they actually go in. Landing zones and space stations may need to be reworked to accommodate delivery spots or extra space carved out of landing pad platforms to make space for cargo. Can they justify that work if almost no one will use it? Is the development time going to be an expense of something else? I thought this was interesting because these mechanics will get refined and more planned as they move forward. Time will be a big factor for trade, even if you have this loading and unloading mechanic that's done quickly or takes a load of time. It still should lead to a similar time to earn UEC for cargo trading, but players would have to, if the cargo loading was quick, would have to do more runs of cargo. If cargo loading was slow, they'd have to do less runs, but still the same amount of time-ish, if you see what I mean. It's worth mentioning, as with all the stations like Port Olisar, they're going to be replaced by truck stops. So if they do make this cargo mechanic, if they do make the landing pads able to take all size of cargo vessels and all these like ways of transporting cargo from pads to one another, they should only have to do it for their modular set, and then they can just have it procedurally generated as part of the truck stops. They can go, we want there to be cargo pads of this size there, we want them to be whatever, so that they can build them into their prefabs, they can build them into their modular sets. But we don't know where they're going to be going with it, and large cargo carriers will most likely, in the short term at the very least, dock to the side of these space stations anyway. In regards to cargo drones, using drones for cargo transport has been something they've considered as well, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to be supporting larger cargo ships and cargo containers longer term as well. They've not really confirmed anything about the discussions and where they're going with that at the moment, but they're taking a lot of factors into consideration, from technical capability to AI pathfinding, and we may see drones for some of those kind of uses. And in fact, we will see drones for many uses in-game. Piracy is also very much part of the future of the cargo system, so they want to make sure it feels right while not being overly supportive to pirates at the detriment of the victim. Balanced, they want it. It's also worth mentioning that at the moment, we don't really have persistence working for piracy, and there's no real fun in being a pirate, or at least there's no profit in it. I know 3.0 is just a test and an alpha, but you still want those kind of gameplay loops there that you go, there's a reason for me to be a pirate. Now, when persistence is working for the stealing of ships, as well as salvage and reputation systems all working this year, it will give PvP pirate gameplay a lot more fun and meaning for both sides, with the pirates wanting to steal ships, pirates wanting to take cargo rather than just blow up your ship. They're going to want to threaten you and that sort of stuff, but not necessarily want to kill you. They're going to want to try and capture your ship and stuff like that. And that kind of gameplay is much more interesting. They want the pirate experience to be worthwhile and exciting, but also risky and dangerous. They want to empower traders to be able to defend their goods, and for pirates to have to think twice about attacking every ship. They want pirates to feel like they have a target on their back from mercenaries, law enforcers, and bounty hunters, but also for pirates to have ways of slipping away and smuggling their ill-gotten gains through inspection. And there'll be outlaws and stuff as well that are part of this that aren't necessarily pirates, but they do the smuggling. They might know pirates. They might be connected to piracy without being pirates themselves. And they want traders to have a way of getting their stuff back if possible, but also want pirates to be able to make big paydays if they get away with it. Risk, reward. Very important for this system. The whole system should be a tight balancing act that rewards a heist done well, but doesn't make it the most profitable way to be in the game forever or anything like that. If everyone was a pirate, it wouldn't work, and if no one was a pirate, it wouldn't work either. Again, it's a balance. In regards to the combat survey, which I will link below so that you can help with ship balance and combat coming in 3.1, these surveys are super useful for making things better for the game. Star Citizen is a project that we should be helping guide and giving feedback towards so we get what we want in game. If you're a backer, that's the sort of reason you should be playing it now, in my opinion. I recommend you get involved, basically. But CIG gave us some extra tips and feedback here too, to tell us what they're planning to do with it and how they want us to fill it in. So they know combat mechanics are not finished and that there are issues in 3.0 that make commenting and some of the survey questions rather difficult as well, because there are bugs and things. One of the purposes of the survey is to gauge confidence in the assessment and what issues and bugs are the most egregious. If the confidence is low, they can look at why and in what situations. If you can't kill a target because you're fighting a ship's ESP, which is obviously a massive issue at the moment, then select that as a major bug and put low confidence level in. If you're unable to modify your guns, then select Rec/UEC weapons as a major bug and default loadouts as a major issue. All of the information obtained from this is valuable. Additionally, they can repeat the survey if needed from patch to patch to allow different comparisons and look at what works and what doesn't. In other words, there is room in the survey to prioritize issues and assess confidence in answers in addition to looking at balance. That can be just as important and useful to them as the balance itself. Also, in regards to hotfixes, the ping pong ball bug is fixed for most people now. I believe that if it's still affecting you, that you can contact CS and they do a one-time reset of your account. But I also believe that they are potentially applying some hotfixes over the next couple of days to fix the issue, assuming that they've actually 100% fixed it now for a more permanent fix basis of that ping pong ball bug. In the meantime, do not spam save and equip when using the Moby-Glass. That is what caused people to turn into ping pong balls in the first place. Hopefully, we should get some more people playing. Hopefully, we may get some other hotfixes allowing us more gameplay in general in 3.0, or at least access to it, like getting the admin offices working for missions and that sort of stuff. So hopefully, we'll get that before 3.1, but here's hoping. Every month, we have a giveaway. For January, it's for a Hammerhead gunboat, donated by our featured org, IDF, the Intergalactic Defence Force. They're a lawful org that focus on trades, security, escorting, and teamwork, and we'll also dabble in other areas of the game as well. Links below if you're interested in checking them out. They are active now, they have an active Discord, check them out. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that Hammerhead though is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and then comment on any of my Star Citizen content during the month. Do you have any questions about Star Citizen or Squadron 42 or the development of the game or the game mechanics or anything else we talked about? I will apologise now because I haven't actually listened to the audio. I've moved my mic and my room is a bit in chaos, so if my mic is a bit crackly or sounds a bit odd or different, I apologise. I will get it fixed for next video. If it sounds amazing, then I'll keep it like this, but I expect it'll sound a little odd. A special thank you to my Patreons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. If you're interested in becoming one of them, you can find the links to Patreon down below, as well as everything else we've talked about. I've had some amazing donators over the last couple of days, so thank you so much for the support. I am going to be getting my room soundproofed pretty soon, and a new green screen and lots of stuff. So thank you so much. It really does help, and I appreciate it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe as well, as that also helps me, and I'll see you in the verse.